Hello everybody and welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today we are going to look at Aether Revolt, at least ways in the impact it's going to have on EDH. We don't have a lot, we just have a few cards so far. I know there's been a ton of people talking about it, but I haven't seen anybody talk about it as far as we're concerned with EDH. So we're going to start off with this pre-release pack here. This is what we get when we sign in for the pre-release. That is, in fact, 2 packs of Kaladesh and 4 packs of Aether Revolt. You get this little thing here. I don't know what that is. It's probably something like the little Thopters we built, and, of course, your dice. So let's jump right into the cards here. Let's look at Mr. Johnny Unyielding here. Now, Johnny Unyielding is the real Johnny. He's not the Planeswalker pack one, but this guy... Man, this guy seems really good. He is costed a little much at 6 mana, though. I mean, I don't know that there's ever been a walker that's been more meh, except for our use. I think a Johnny will stay cheap, and the only home he's going to have is us EDH players. It really, really is, I think. We got 6 mana. It starts off at 4 loyalty. Plus 2, you reveal the top 3 cards of your library. Put all non-land permanent cards revealed this way into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library. So, he gets you some cards. -2, exile target creature. Its controller gains a life equal to its power. Useful, I guess. -9, put 5 +1/+1 counters on each creature you control, and 5 loyalty counters on each other planeswalker you control. Wow, this is nuts. I mean, he is... I will have to have a copy of this guy for Traxxas Super Friends. We all know that. I really like him. There's not a lot. They did cast him at 4, so assuming you've got doubling season in play, he's going to come into play with 8, which means you've still got him to set out their turn, uses +2 before you ultimate him. I kind of agree with the trio over at Magic Mike's that I think they are probably designing around doubling season when they do walkers. I don't know, though. It seems like a 6-mana walker would be, but with doubling season, you're going to get 10 +1/+1 counters on each creature and 10 loyalty counters on each other walker. So that seems really good. So let's look at his Planeswalker pack variant. 2 1/1 counters on up to 1 dude. So you're making 1 dude big. Reveal cards from top of your library until you reveal a creature card. That card in your hand. The rest on the bottom. Okay. Put X 1/1 counters on target creature where X is your life total. I was wondering if they were going to tie Johnny to life because it's a common theme for a Johnny. Anyway, that creature gains trample. So you're all about making 1 creature big, as the other one was making all your creatures big, which is fine. Battle at the bridge. Improvise. Your artifacts. Okay, after you're done tapping them for mana, you can essentially convoke your artifacts to help pay the spell, kind of like Convoke. -X, and you gain X life. Seems like a decent kill spell. I don't know if this is worth a rare slot. For us, anyway. It might see play somewhere, but it just seems like there are better things to do. Now, there's a few decks, Shroom, Brea may use this, because there's a lot of your artifacts that you can tap in with really no drawback to you whatsoever. Wow, speaking of Shroom and Brea, this is their worst nightmare. When it enters the battlefield, exile all artifacts your opponents control until this leaves. Now, that S is a very, very big thing for us in EDH because we're used to playing games with 4, 5, 6 people, and the ability to have a O-ring for every artifact that you don't control seems really amazing. This one card can shut down tables. Here again, I don't know that this will be a card that will be a force to be reckoned with in standard, modern, whatever the hell they're playing. I don't know. But in EDH, this is going to be a card. I don't think this will be money card whatsoever. Not at all. I don't know that any of the regular rares are going to be money cards and from here on out, since we have inventions or masterpieces at all time, what I call epic rares, because that's all they are, is a 5th rarity. But anyway, I like Consulate Crackdown. It's going to do amazing things in EDH. You're either going to rejoice when it's played or you're going to cry. I think those are the two options. Dark Intimations, as I said, Magic Mike's. By the way, if y'all are not watching Magic Mike's, it happens every Wednesday. It's Evan Irwin from the Magic Show and gosh, I can't remember their name, saved my life right now. But they have an excellent show. They do it on Wednesday nights. It's a podcast. You can watch it on YouTube. It's Magic Mike's, MICS. None of the weird stuff. But they were talking about Dark Intimations being a miniature Cruel Ultimatum. Now, 5 mana, of course, it's a lot easier to cast than Cruel Ultimatum. It does a fraction of it. Each opponent sacrifices a creature or a walker, discards a card. You get a walker back or creature, and then you draw a card. So, but this Bolas Planeswalker spell thing. Whenever you cast a Bolas Planeswalker spell, exile this, and that Planeswalker enters the battlefield with additional loyalty on it. There's conjecture about maybe I firmly agree that this set will not have a Bolas Walker, because we all know we're going to Amonkhet next in the spring, and Amonkhet is a Egyptian plane ruled by Nicol Bolas. That much we know. So I'm predicting that this is going to be just hanging out there, and it's not going to be that good of a card. Not a lot of people are going to play it. Of course, we will, because we've already got a Bolas Walker. But I think we're going to get another Bolas Walker, and there's a lot of conjecture on what that's going to be as well. Don't know. We have Disallow. I dare say the greatest non-free counterspell ever. Obviously, Force of Will is great. Pact of Negation is great. And Mana Drain is amazing. However, I think this is up there with those. For cancel mana, you get counter target anything. Now, counter target anything, outstanding, people. I'm telling you, this is what you want in a control spell. This is you can counter Emrakul, you can counter Emrakul's ability, you can counter a Planeswalker ability, you can counter that Aetherworks Marvel ability, you can counter Landfall ability. There's very little that you cannot counter with this card. And I think this will be a permanent fixture in a lot of formats, especially in EDH, because there's a lot of times when you just Homeward Path. I know people that are going to just disallow Homeward Path or activations all day long because they rely on stealing everything. I mean, there's so much Maze of Ith you can do this to. It's too good. I love it, love it, love it. Kind of makes me excited for blue control. Heart of Dad. We have ourselves a 2-mana Crew 3 Sarah Angel. Now, I do like the fact that the new Chandra, the flavor of it, I love the flavor of it, because Chandra, you can plus her to get 2 mana that you use to play this, and then you can remove loyalty from her to get her to make this an angel, essentially, to which we know this is Dad in some fashion. But I love the flavor of it, but beyond that, I just don't know. Like, I'm not putting it in Super Friends. It kind of looks like they're trying to make Super Friends a viable option in Standard with all the Gatewatch stuff they're doing. But I don't know. It being a mythic rare, I don't know. It's not really exciting me that much. But now this excites me. Oath of the Johnny excites me a lot. Because I like the fact that when a walker joins the Gatewatch, they all get a legendary enchantment Oath card. And I love the flavor text. It kind of all ties them together. I will keep watch. And then, isn't that what Jon Snow... Anyway, When Oath of Johnny comes into play, put a +1/+1 counter on your team, and your planeswalkers cost 1 colorless less. What can I say? Go in Super Friends. I'm more excited about this than I am the Ajani Planeswalker. I'm telling you, this is the way. Maybe the 2-color Oaths are going to be intentionally better. I don't know. They typically do that with gold cards. Proud to have it. Mom's Revolution. Mom's Revolution is an enchantment for 3 mana. Whenever a non-token artifact is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, return that card to your hand unless target opponent has Pia's Revolution, deal 3 damage. Now, target opponent. Whenever a non-token artifact. How can we abuse this? Now, my first go-to, of course, is Brea, because you know Brea, you spend 2 to sack 2 artifacts to choose one of 3 options. So you're going to have tokens going to the yard, although you got to have real tokens and not, or real artifacts and not tokens. But I think there's going to come a point in time where that opponent, you get to pick the opponent. So obviously you're going to pick your opponent with the least amount of life, or who has something to lose. 3 damage. You can't take too many bolts to the face before it starts hurting. And Brea could surely make that happen. Quicksmith Rebels, a 4-mana 3/2 Artificer that says artifact you control deals 2 damage to target creature or player for as long as you control this guy. Now, I don't know. The first thing that comes to my mind is the untap ability. Now, I know we didn't have a whole lot of the untap ability. We pretty much got Shadowmoor, period. But, like, if Pilipala, 2 mana untap to add a mana of any color. If you can get that activation down to 1 with Pilipala, you can. I don't know that you would want to power artifact this guy, but there are other ways. But you could tap him to deal 2 damage, and then spend a mana, untap him to get a mana, tap him, rinse and repeat, and you've got infinite damage on a stick here, but you've got to have a way to untap, or to get your activation cost down. As I said, all I pretty much got with this is the untap symbol. I'm sure the longer I think about it, the more I'll come up with. Let's look at this Scrap Trawler here. It's a 3-mana 3/2. Turns all your artifacts into... Wow. Another artifact you control is put in the graveyard from the battlefield. Return to your hand target artifact with lesser converted mana cost. See, they had to do lesser here, because if they did with same mana cost, then it would do a lot of shenanigans with 0 casting cost artifacts, Memnite, or even Turmoil's Crypt at sacrifice, and it would give you just an infinite storm count, and they don't want to encourage storm, which I think is the only reason why they haven't done Gravestorm. I love Gravestorm. It's a great ability. It's only read 1 card. Anyway. Yeah. This could have a lot of uses. Here again, I'm looking at you, Brea. I don't know that Sharoom's going to use this that much, but still looks pretty good. Tezzeret, Master of Metal. 6 mana 5 loyalty. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal an artifact card. Put it in your hand. Rest on the bottom. You're going to get an artifact off of his +1. That's good. There's no chance of a missing here, because that's, when you look at the top so many cards and you miss, it's a bad. It is a feel bad moment. -3. Target opponent loses life equal to the number of artifacts you control. That could be something hardcore in a lot of decks. Sharoom might like it. Obrea might like it. There's a lot of artifacts that it could go well in. Gain control of all artifacts and creatures target opponent controls. Now, you're only picking on one person here, but most of the time, that's all you're going to need anyway. Trophy Mage. Now, this is the card. Trophy Mage is... This is the answer. Now, everybody's familiar with Trinket Mage going to get a 1-drop and Treasure Mage going to get a 6 or more. Now, Trophy Mage enters the battlefield. You may search your library for an artifact card with converted mana cost 3. Reveal it, put it into your hand. Hey, do y'all know what costs 3? Yes. Everybody knows all the swords of something and something. All of those cost 3. How about Crucible of Worlds, Godsend, Hellvault, Tanglewire, Veldaken Shackles, Sculpting Steel, Adaptive Automaton, Chromatic Lantern, Coalition Relic, Darksteel Plate, Ensnaring Bridge. Hello, Extraplanar Lens. Horn of Greed, people, come on. Master of Ethereum. Yes, it is a artifact. How about Metalworker? Odds are if you're running this card, you're going to be running some artifacts. Metalworker, I'm telling you. Oblivion Stone, Phyrexian Altar, Staff of Domination, Ashnod's Altar, Burnished Heart, Basalt Monolith. The list goes on. So many of those cards I just named are engines or combo pieces. Or I'm telling you, Trophy Mage, this is where it's at. We get very few tutors in EDH, and we have not gotten the tutor on a stick for a 3-drop. Yes, we get the 1 to get the Soul Ring, we get the 6 or more to get the Miles of the Lattice or the Achroma's Memorial, whatevs. But this, the 3-drop artifact, is so valuable of a spot. I mean, the Extraplanar Lens, as I said, because you're going to be running snow covers anyway, but the Metalworker to ramp out your entire deck, the altar, the staff, heck, both altars. This is a combo piece finder. I'm telling you, every foil copy that probably exists of this is going to find its way into a Brea deck somewhere. I just can't get enough of the Trophy Mage. I think it's a great card. Heaneys Expertise. Now, we got this. It's a 4-mana sorcery. All creatures get -3/-3 to end of turn. And you may cast a card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your turn without paying the mana cost. Wow. I think this is really good. A lot of times in non-EDH play, this is tantamount to damnation. But where we're concerned, it's not going to kill everything, because we tend to play with a lot more fatties in EDH than most 60-card folks do. But the ability to -3 the board and then get a 3-drop for free. Now, the important part here is it says you may cast it. So you get the cast trigger if it matters. I don't know, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but a 3-drop, it may not. But I know we were talking, me and a couple buddies were talking about this over Facebook, and the idea of, he was more of a standard player, and, you know, the ability to wipe the board, cast Lily, activate Lily, finish off the Avacyn. Good game. But for us, it's, you've got Phyrexian Arena that you can drop off of this. You've got, the 3-drop, especially in black, is pretty good. Now, when you built the deck, you planned on spending all 3 mana on that, whatever this 3-mana spell is that you're casting for free. So, isn't this essentially 1 mana? Or 2 for 1? Seems really, really good. Well, I think that's all the spoilers we've got for right now. I'll do more as we get more. I'll probably sit down once we get the entire set list and do an EDH set review of it, if you will. But I do appreciate you watching. Y'all let me know what you think. And it's time for a shuffle and a cut.